grade 10s, this morning I want to do a recap basically of all of the things that we've covered this term. And I'm going to show you how what we started with and what we're about to get into is going to link up and how it is all together. So this is quite important to understand the big picture. So I want you guys to make this note. So on a new page in your workbook, you've turned your page horizontal and you're going to copy this into your workbook so that you have an understanding. So at the beginning of this term, we did molecules of life. Okay? So molecules of life. These are the molecules that are required to basically build cells. They're the building blocks. This is the building block of everything that a cell is made up of. So grade 10s, give me the molecules of life that we study. Give them to me. Okay? A little bit louder with the one word. Enzymes. Okay, enzymes? Okay, enzymes we did towards the end. We did carbohydrates. Okay, we did carbohydrates, yes? Lipids and proteins, okay? So we need, obviously, our carbohydrates, our lipids, and our proteins. And we spoke about what there are various types. So we have monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Lipids, we've got saturated and unsaturated. Proteins are made up of amino acids, and amino acids are bonded together to form a polypeptide chain, which ultimately forms a protein, okay? And those are the building blocks of life, the three main molecules. We also then have, what else do we need in order to function healthily, to have a healthy body? Vitamins and minerals, so we spoke about that. Vitamins and minerals. We spoke about water, okay, and how water is a requirement for life. We spoke about enzymes and how enzymes function. And there was another one we also did, nucleic acid, remember? DNA and RNA. Yes? Nucleic acids. Okay? And then enzymes, we spoke about how they are temperature specific and pH specific, how they function, etc. Are we all happy with molecules of life? Molecules of life then led us to the next section. What was the next section that we did, grade 10s? And remember, you guys are writing at the same time. You're not writing anything, son. When I say you're writing something, it means you must have an instrument for writing in your hand, and you're doing it. Okay. Why you just... Okay, anyway. What was the next thing we did? Cells, okay? So we spoke about cells. And in our cells, we spoke about two types of cells. Yes? We spoke about which types of cells? Plant cells, okay? And animal cells. So we spoke about all the different structures within that, the differences, what those organelles do, what their function is. Those organelles are responsible for basically bringing about life processes. It's ensuring that life is in existence. Are we all happy with cells? Okay? So we did plant cells, we did animal cells, and we spoke about the various structures. Obviously, I'm not going to recap all of the cells. Are we all happy with that? Because then I would be teaching it again. So we did two different types of cells. What did we do after cells? We did mitosis. What is mitosis? It's cell division, okay? Making more cells. So during mitosis, we make more cells. And grade 10s, what is the purpose of making more cells? Why do we need to make more cells? For growth and repair, okay? So we've taken our molecules of life, we've made a cell, our cells have then undergone mitosis, they're making more cells, and then what do those cells form? All of the cells together. Remember, cells make tissues. And what did we study, grade 10s? We did plant and animal tissues, you remember? Okay, so we did, remember, guys, this should be kind of in the middle of your book. Because I said to you, this is my page. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Some of you are writing right at the top. It kind of should be, okay, anyway, do it as you like. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so from mitosis, we then did plant and animal tissue. Remember, cells make tissues, tissues make organs, okay? And so we did plant and animal tissues. On the top here, I'm going to talk about all the different, because can you see I put plant and here I put animal? So I'm going to revise all the plant tissues at the top here. Are you all picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. What are the 4 plant tissues that we have, grade 10s? 4 plant tissues. Uh-oh. Plant tissues. Okay, there we go. What did you say? Okay, there we go. That's the first one. We did meristematic, remember? Meristematic. Okay, we did meristematic tissue. And remember, in meristematic tissue, what does meristematic tissue do? It goes through mitosis. It makes more cells, okay? So this is the cell that is actively, or these are the cells that are actively doing this process that we've already studied. We have an understanding of. So meristematic tissue, we have 2 types. We have apical and we have lateral. Lateral. So we have apical meristem, and lateral meristem. Okay? Everybody happy with that? So that's the first type of plant tissue we did. What was the next type of plant tissue we did? We did epidermal. You can close that window just slightly. It's a little bit, just slightly, so you still need air, but not that it's blowing you away. Not yet. Okay, so what did you say? You said it? Epidermal, right? Oops. Spelling mistake. Not epidermal. Epidermal. Epidermal tissue. With our epidermal tissue, grade 10s, there were 2 specialized ones. What were the 2 specialized ones that we spoke about? Root hairs and guard cells. So guard cells, I hope you guys can see this. So guard cells and root hairs. You notice how I've changed my handwriting to try and make it more legible. Okay? It's really working my brain. Okay, guard cells and root hairs. Those are the 2 types of epidermal cells. Then the next type of tissue we did. Ground tissue, lovely. Ground. Oops, I've done a capital again. You see, my brain likes capital letters. I have to force my brain not to do capitals. Ground tissue. What were the 4 types of ground tissue that we had? Remember, there were 4. Do you remember that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what were the 4 types of ground tissue? Yes, good. Good. What was the first one we did? Was? Parenchyma. That's the packaging one. Good. Parenchyma, yes? Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is for? Strength. Then we did? Collenchyma. Also for strength, but it provides a bit more flexibility. So it's not thickened all the way around, only at the corners. And then the last one, which was? Chlorenchyma. What does chlorenchyma do, guys? Chlorenchyma is responsible for photosynthesis. Okay, so we have chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma, remember? Chlor has lots of chloroplasts for photosynthesis. Spunga, is this still recording, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Right, and then the last type of tissue we did was implant tissue. Remember? I'll give you a second to think.
Vascular.
There we go, vascular. Vascular. And what are the 2 types of vascular tissue that we talk about? Xylem and phloem. And what is xylem transport? Xylem transport? Water. What is phloem transport? Food. Manufactured food. Okay, so we have xylem and phloem. I'm going to just try and write it. Xylem, really small, and phloem. Xylem is for water. Phloem is for food. And that's all of our plant tissues that we have. Are we all happy, grade 10? Can I move on to the different animal tissues? So you can put here plant tissues. Squeaky pen. Those are all the different plant tissues. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you basically a whole summary of everything we've done. And if you are able to put this picture together yourselves, then you actually are familiar with the content and you are confident with the content. Remember I spoke to you about that 15 minutes a day concept? You guys must be able to give me this information. So you're giving me the information and then you're going into detail for each of the topics that we have covered. So big picture, then tell me about the more information. So then you would do a summary for each of these in the same way. So we then can take this and do our molecules of life and have carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and then all the summary. That summary stuff's going to come from your brain. Yes? Not copying from the textbooks, grade 10. Anybody can rewrite a textbook. You don't get to rewrite the textbook in the test. You have to answer the questions. Okay, are we all happy with plant tissues? Can I move on to animal tissues? You still writing? Okay, it's fine. Let's move. Okay, animal tissues. So now we're going to do all of our animal tissues. The first one we did was epithelial. Epithelial tissue. You remember? Just give me the 3 shapes. I'm not going to talk about all of the things, because remember we can have simple, or we can have stratified, or we can have ciliated, and we can have all of those. Just give me the 3 shapes. Okay, first one? Cuboidal. Let's put it here. D-A-L, hey? Is that right? Cuboidal. I-D-A-L. Cuboidal. Okay, we have columnar. I find that I'm thinking so much about my handwriting, I'm not thinking about my spelling. It's messing me up. Anyway, cuboidal, columnar, and squamous. So we have squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. Everybody happy with that? Then these can obviously either be, if it's one layer, we say simple. If it's many, we say stratified. So stratified, and then we also have specializations. Let's just put them here anyway. They can be ciliated. Ciliated, yes. Or they can have, there we go, goblet cells. Goblet. And what do goblet cells do? They bring about secretions. Any kind of secretion. It can be saliva, it can be mucus, it can even be digestive secretions. Any secretion is going to be produced by a goblet cell. So are we all happy with epithelial? Yes? Okay. Next next tissue, animal tissue that we have is, I said it, cheetahs. Yes? Connective, right? Connective tissue. How many connective tissues do we have? 5 in the textbook, but remember I said the one we're going to 6. Okay? So we need 6 answers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And guys, I always try to put numbers together, because then I'm like, okay, if I've got number 1, 2, 3, shucks, I need 3 more. Then it kind of reminds me what they are. Okay? Anybody remember the first one we did? The first one. Yes, someone saying it. Michael. Areolar connective tissue. Areolar connective tissue. If that areolar connective tissue's got lots of fat cells, what do we call it? Also starts with an A. Adipose. Adipose. So areolar can also be called adipose. Adipose tissue. That's a D. Adipose tissue. So areolar or adipose tissue. Are we all happy? Then we have, I don't want to do cartilage just yet. Cartilage is the 4th one we did. What is it? Yes? White. White fibrous. White fibrous connective tissue. And what is that? What is white fibrous connective tissue? There we go. Tendons. What do tendons? Oh, are you cheating?
Yes. Some of them I was fine, but then when we see the tendons, I was like,
cheetah. Okay, it's all good. Right. So we have white fibrous. That's tendons. What does the function of a tendon do? What does a tendon do again?
muscle to
It does. I was just thinking. It does. Connect muscle to bone. I was almost going to say the wrong, but anyway. Okay, next one. Yellow elastic, right? Yellow elastic. And what are yellow elastic? Ligaments. What do ligaments do? Connect? Bone to bone. Okay? I always do that. I don't know. It just helps me remember. Maybe it'll help you. Next, by Michael. Cartilage. What is the function of cartilage? Acts as a shock absorber. It's found between bone, right? So it acts as a shock absorber. It prevents friction found between bone. Lovely. Next. Bone, yes. And last one, we did blood. So there is our 6 different types of connective tissue. Right, I need a bigger board. I hope you guys are doing this in a way that is beautiful. Are you doing it in a way that's beautiful? Some of you maybe need to rethink about doing this in a different way. Could have done it a little bit lower, but fine. Yes? This is giving you, is this summary a nice summary for you? Okay, great. Then we have, after epithelial tissue, we have, anyone remember? Beautiful, muscle tissue. Muscle, 3 different types of muscle tissue that we have, yes? 1, 2, 3. I hope you're all connecting this in the right way, yes? Okay, so muscle, what are the different types of muscle tissue? Striated, good. I hope the people on the TV can see. I mean this thing. The video. The video. Okay, striated. By the way, what is striated muscle? That's the skeletal muscle. And it is? There we go, voluntary. It's voluntary. You control it. You control its movement. It's voluntary. Striated, Mahdia. Stick with us, babe. Okay, next. Smooth. Let's go with smooth. Smooth, where do we find smooth muscle tissue? Can you control it? First it's involuntary, and then, so anywhere where you don't have control, what don't you have control over? Your stomach, okay? So digestive system is where we would find smooth muscle. Where else would we find smooth muscle? Can you control your blood vessels? Okay, so blood vessels have got smooth muscle. Can you control, what's going on in the, in the reproductive system? Okay, there's actually muscles. Saw that smile. You might be having a mask, but I can see the smile. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, striated, smooth, and then? Cardiac. And is cardiac involuntary or voluntary? Cardiac. Grade 10. Where do we find cardiac muscle? In the heart only. Remember, blood vessels have got smooth muscle. Don't confuse that. Is a blood vessel the same as a heart? Are they part of the same system? Yes, but they're different tissues. Okay, so we have cardiac muscle and we have smooth muscle. And then the last, now we really are running out of space. If the people on the TV can't see, this video can't see. I really want to just be on TV, guys. Okay, we have what? What is the last tissue? Nervous. Okay, and then there are 3 different types of neurons. Okay, so let's do them. Let's write all 3. I'm going to just do it over here because for a little bit of space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what are the 3 types of nerve cells that we have, neurons that we have? Sensory. Sensory, yes. Motor. And it's called a interneuron or connector neuron. Interneuron. It's not the one, we didn't focus too much on it, which is why it's important that you guys are getting it. Interneuron. Or connector neuron. Connector, inter, or relay are the same. But let's just write inter for fun. I'm not for fun, but for learning. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to do in red. All of these tissues are our animal tissues. So plant tissues, we have animal tissues. Beautiful. What a nice little summary, huh? So, what does this mean for today's lesson? Because this was everything we have taught. Everything I have taught. Not we. Me. You guys learned, hopefully. Esther, your face. We are going to move on to, remember cells make? Tissues. What's the next step? Tissues make organs, okay? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these tissues and we're going to learn some plant organs. So we're going to move on to organs. I'm going to do. I'm not worried. I'm not going to do anything here on animal. So the organs I'm going to talk about now are specifically related to our plant tissue organs. Okay. So we are going to, after we've done all of our plant tissue organs, we're going to come back and we're going to do some animal tissue organs and systems. Okay. Does that make sense? So we're going to start by first looking at some plant organs. We will later, so we'll do this later. We can just write later to be continued. First, we're going to look at some of these little guys here. So what are the plant organs that we need to study? What are organs in a plant? What do you mean, ma'am? All plants don't have organs. Plants don't have kidneys and livers. Do they have organs? What would a plant organ be? Okay, there's so many mumbling. What would a plant organ be? A leaf. Yes? So the plant has leaves. What else does the plant have? Stem. What else does the plant have? Roots. What do you mean water? For water. Is that what you're trying to say? That roots are for absorption of water. Yeah, I know that's what you're trying to say. So we have leaves, we've got stems, we've got roots, and we have flowers. Ooh, flowers. Okay, so in grade 10 we're going to discuss the structure of the leaf, the structure of the stem, the structure of the root. We don't look at the flower in detail, this happens in grade 11. So we'll look at the flower, structure of the flower in grade 11. But what are we going to do, guys? If cells make tissues, what do you think we're going to find inside of our organs? Yeah. If cells make tissues, what do you think we're going to find in our organs? Tissues. Okay. Have you got it, Ashvi? Okay, let's try again. If cells make tissues, what do you think we're going to find in our organs? We're going to find these tissues represented in all of these things. So let's just quickly use our brain to think. Okay, everyone have that? Yes? Hello. Right. What tissue do you think we're going to find predominantly in our leaf? We're going to find a lot of chlorenchyma. Why are we going to find a lot of chlorenchyma in our leaves? For photosynthesis. What tissue are we going to find in our stem? Lots of. In our stem. We're going to find a lot of sclerenchyma. Why? Because it needs to be strong, okay? So there's a strengthening thing there. What do you think we're going to find lots of in our roots? We're going to find some root hairs, absolutely. We're going to find some parenchyma, because don't we store, not us, but plants. Plants store a lot of tissue in their roots, so they're going to need to be having a lot of parenchyma for storage. Remember, it's a packaging tissue. Even in our stem, we're going to find a lot of parenchyma. Where do you think we're going to find, for example, guard cells? Guard cells are going to be found in the leaves. Where are we going to find root hairs? In the root, okay? So you can see, where are we going to find xylem? Xylem is going to, well, vascular tissue is going to be found everywhere, because don't we need to transport it from the roots to the leaves? Because what is it needed for? What is water needed for in a plant? For photosynthesis, okay? And so what I'm trying to do, grade 10s, is I'm trying to make sure that we are now linking this next section that we're on with the previous one we did. And yes, we did a section in between. We did this animal tissue stuff, but we're just going to pack this down for later, because we're going to meet it back again later, okay? And we're going to focus in on specifically our leaves, our stems, and our roots. Okay, any questions? Okay, happy days. Now, beautiful, right? Have you all got this? Oh, did you guys run out of space? Because you didn't listen to me. I told you this is my page. You must be working with me on your page. Okay? Figure it out. Figure it out. You guys should listen to the instruction in the beginning. Okay, so we're going to say goodbye to the, no, should we say goodbye to people on the screen? To the TV. Now I'm we're going to do, it's because we're on 25 minutes. Okay, what we'll do, let's do this quickly. I'm going to let the class see you. So then you can say hello to everybody. Hi. Say hi, everyone. This is what school looks like for those of you that have forgotten. You're hiding away, hey? Okay.